Darth Vader. You are listening to Craft Brews and Geek News, the Empire's favorite podcast.
Yeah. So welcome everybody to another episode of the Brewmasters Club cast. Here is what you have to look forward to in tonight's episode.
That's how we get started around here.
We just start with a bunch of duds.
You just ghost all your jokes, Laos.
This is a Windows Acer tablet right here. It comes equipped with all your daily needs and Dragon Ball wallpaper.
Dorcas mode. Dragon Ball Dorcas mode.
Talk about Star Wars all the time, and then I show one thing Dragon Ball, and I'm the dork.
It's pronounced Dorcas.
Dorcas. I am loving the fact that Donnie said that Laos and I were beautiful people. Who's typing?
I saw that Ryan was at a particular point in the notes, and so I wrote "suck a butt," and he goes, "That was in the notes."
Wiki wasted.
Double IPA in a bourbon barrel that they had aged 48 feet underwater in the spring.
A burrito in Escondido. Oh boy, real tough sell tonight.
I want a refund.
I want a refund.
You get a refund on nothing, and you will love it. It'd be super awkward if a mechanical man asked for some of your cheese.
I totally agree.
Siri, Uber, home.
What was that again?
Whoop. Siri, Uber. She did it. She opened Uber.
Also, there's one time I went to a taco joint with like an angry Armenian guy.
Does that mean anything goes in this Uber cab? Like,
No, absolutely not. It operates the same exact way as an Uber does. It's dingy on the dongers every time, I guarantee.
dingy on the dollars. Bits of gas.
No, what you're doing
Bit
is
of
wrong.
gas? What is he
Bit
saying?
of
What I
gas.
said was right. What you're doing is wrong.
This is a restricted area. Is this a drill or something? Negative. This is fine by me. I hate drills.
You crazy mother.
Welcome to the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club, Craft Brews and Geek News. Sit back, pour yourself a pint, and let's get into it. Now here's the founder of the Brewmasters Club and your host, Donnie Gallagher.
Welcome to the Craft Brews and Geek News podcast. This is Donnie here, and I'm joined by two lovely and knowledgeable young men. Good morning, craft beer. Laos, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good,
Wait.
man. I like the good morning craft beer thing. What were you going for a good morning Vietnam type of feel? Is that where this is going?
No, not at all. I just, I don't know. Trying to keep the momentum up, my man.
I get it. You're appealing to the people who are listening to this in the morning time. If that's the case,
Yeah, and that's why I said
good morning, everyone.
Good morning to see you.
Yep, perfect.
And
Nailed
we're
it.
also joined this evening by good buddy, Mr. Ryan. How are you?
I'm good, and I am loving the fact that Donnie said that Laos and I were beautiful people. So, thank you, Donnie.
Ooh, yeah, really raising the bar on that one, champ.
I said beautiful and knowledgeable young people.
Ah, yes, knowledgeable too. Even more icing on the cake. Who's typing?
What's
Well,
happening?
you should really have the notes open.
Like, I'm not doing this.
Who's
in the show notes right now?
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, these notes are live, man. They are coming off this screen.
I saw that Ryan was at a particular point in the notes, and so I wrote "suck a butt," and he goes, "That was in the notes."
Okay, that's
Ghost
fantastic.
Rider over here.
It's hilarious.
Which, by the way, great show from the 90s. If anybody cares to check that out.
All right. Well, we do need to get on to some business here because we have a fully packed show. So
We
much
do.
the fact that I even went through and started deleting stuff because we just have too much to talk about. So first off, guys, I'm wearing a different shirt tonight. Those of you listening probably can't see, but it is representative of the Tumble Terrace Craft Brew Fest, which we will all be a part of and a big supporter of every year. It is a charity function. It is something that happens in your backyard. It is the epitome of why we support local craft beer, because it helps economies. It helps build establishments and livelihood and local business, which is part of what the Rotary Club is all about. So we are here to support them, and we do this at no cost. Most of our time is donated to the Rotary Club, just to get folks to come out and realize how much of a great cause they are. So the Temple Terrace Craft Beer Fest, it's a local thing here. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, visit templeterracebrewfest.com to find more information. It's taking place on May 13th from 4 to 8 p.m. Again, that is the day before Mother's Day. So go out and have a great time, then celebrate Mom the following day. But it is over 70 beers from over 30 different breweries coming out to celebrate this beer fest. Tickets are about $35. I think they're $32 now, and then we'll go up to about $40 the weekend of the fest. So get them now while they're cheap. Again, that's templeterracebrewfest.com, and that is who is kind of sponsoring us for this evening. So hope we can see most of you guys out there. You'll be there, right, Ryan?
Absolutely.
Yep, and we might even have a couple tickets to give away or something of the sort. So stay tuned. If you have not hopped on our newsletter list, you can do so at the Brewmasters Club. It's simply just type in join.brewmasters.club, and you can hop on our mailing list that way. And if you do so, then you'll stay updated when we do have these giveaways, free tickets, or discounts. So stay tuned that way for us. And that's it for the plugs. We can get kind of right into it.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Why are we not calling it the Brews Letter?
We do.
Okay, cool. Never mind. I'm not a part of it. I need to do that.
Yeah, you should do that. You should absolutely do that. You of all people should be doing that.
We of all people?
Yeah.
All my people?
Join our
Is this a ginger joke? Is this where you're going with it?
This ad is going on way too long. Just join the Brews Letter. That's all.
Okay. I'm going to join the Brews Letter. There's nothing you can brew about it.
Okay. Speaking of, man, that is a handsome beer. Ryan, why don't you kick us off? Speaking of brews and brews letters and all things brews, we are now segueing into our segment of what are you drinking? What are you going to drink? Ryan, please kick us off.
I love how I just put that beer right in front of the video camera, and it's like time to talk about some more beer. Like what I feel the best beer that I brewed, and it is my pineapple, not the kit kind. Yes. And it is, as you can tell, for all you viewers out there who are watching this clip on YouTube, you can see it's very frothy. Lots of head here. Fantastic head. The head is great. Sorry, not to go too far down with that pun rabbit hole. This is the pineapple wheat beer that I brewed. It's got wheat malt along with some honey malt, about a half ounce of hops. It's not overly hopped, but it's got a good, nice, refreshing, crisp taste. Yes, go ahead.
Can you give us a 360 a little closer to the camera? I just want to see it. Like, hold it up to the camera while you're explaining it, because I want to see kind of like, is it clear? Is it cloudy?
No, it's not clear. It's very cloudy. As a matter of fact, you'd probably mistake it for an IPA because of how not clear it is. You know, I like that type of thick beer. You can see you probably can't see it on the screen here, but the bubbles are just coming off the bottom. It's fantastic. What I did differently on this beer was about 3 days into fermentation, I cracked it open real quick, put Dole's pineapple juice, and then I put the airlock right back on, so it was off no more than 20 seconds. As I was pouring in the pineapple
juice in 3 days after it being in fermentation.
That was the thing. That was the thing. This was not brewed with any sort of pineapple extract or anything like that. This was brewed just simply with the honey malt and the wheat malt and water, pretty much, and the hops. And then 3 days into fermentation is when I added the pineapple. So everything at that point, it actually kicked up the fermentation process. The day after, that thing was just pumping. All,
I wonder
the fermentation process
was
just crazy.
I wonder if the sugar attacked it, just went crazy and created more.
Absolutely.
I wonder if they had
the sugars, it reinvigorated it for sure.
I wonder if they had a concentrated like pineapple, if that would do anything.
So the first one that I did with the kit a couple weeks back, I think I might have shared that one. I can't remember, but that was a pineapple beer kit with a pineapple extract that when I tried the extract, it was almost like pure alcohol. It just tasted like a pineapple, like a vanilla extract would. But this was straight up pineapple juice, so you get the refreshing, crisp ale on the front end, and you get that nice, crisp pineapple flavor on the back end. Could I have used more pineapple? Maybe, but I didn't want to overdo it on the first one. So that's.
I really want to try this beer now. You have to save at least one for me.
I have 2 left in my fridge. You want to swing by tomorrow and pick one up? By all means, come on by.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do it. Lossman, what did you bring? Because I have to get one more.
All right. While you re-up, so I brought something that that actually I saw at my local ABC and kind of really wanted to get behind. Really wanted to like it, but I also had a ulterior motive on this one. So I brought the Key Billy, and that's actually made by. Now I hope I'm saying this correctly. So it's part of the Craft Collections, but it's specifically made by Brew Hub. So that means it's brewed locally for me. Might not be locally for most. It's brewed here in Lakeland, Florida. But it's supposed to be it's an ale with key lime juice in it. So it's supposed to be authentic, world-renowned key lime. Perfect for the beach, boat, whatever. I had high hopes of potentially trying this on an island while kayak camping recently, but that kind of panned out. I got very sleepy. That's for fishing for redfish all day. So I did not camp, but decided I'd try the beer nonetheless, and it's very good. The lime is actually weird. It kind of you can't smell it, in my opinion. You can't really smell it. You can't really even taste it until it hits the aftertaste, and all of a sudden this lime kicks in out of nowhere, and it does feel very refreshing. I mean, I would say it's got some sort of resemblance to the Bud Light lime, which is a really good beer for like right after mowing the lawn, but other than that, I don't really know too many uses for it, but an interesting take on an actual beer enforcing key lime.
Now, I wasn't a big fan of that when I had it. I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't hit me the way that the can sold me on it. So it's good to hear that there's another take. It looks like you're about to get hit with key lime, like right in the face, but
yep,
it's almost too subtle, and it threw me off. But I'm glad you like it, man. That's awesome.
Well, like I said, I mean, you're confirming it. I mean, I didn't really get it until the aftertaste, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, there's lime in that, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. So
well, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, this pineapple hits me on the back end. Maybe that's the sign of a good beer when you can get that flavor, but not have it be overly pungent flavor, if that makes sense. So
yeah, you definitely don't pop this thing open and say, oh man, that's a key lime beer. You go, all right, that's weird.
And then pow.
Also you're like, boing. Yeah. Cartoon
Where the
style.
fuck that come from? Yeah, right.
All right, F word is not needed, but that's fine.
I mean, we've dropped a couple already, so
All right, so I have. Thank you, Les. That's awesome. That sounds good. Any like the key lime, the pineapple stuff. Like I don't know if I'm pandering or like what it is, but I really do just like enjoy those crazy flavors.
It's almost summer.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It is.
I mean, it's just almost summer. We're all like we've all got like Amazon looking at kayaks and paddle boards, and we're all just like, we should probably just do this and buy into it.
I did stay at the beach last week, so we're getting there.
We saw how your entire family was so sad to leave.
It was the best 2 days without the kids ever. For sure.
Really?
Oh yeah, we did so much. I mean, the dolphins, slow motion videos, snorkeling. The 150-year-old lighthouse we saw was pretty cool. It was just a great time. A couple of forts.
Well, that's a great segue, Ryan, just because of the beer that I actually want to talk about first is different from the beer that I brought today. Primarily to do with the Florida waters because it comes from Marker 48 Brewing. Do you guys know where that is?
Never heard of it. Sounds awesome.
So Marker 48 is actually in Wikiwachi, Lausman, which is why I'm surprised you don't know about it because they're in Wikiwachi. They're right there, Wikiwachi, Florida. So you got to check it out. Here's why I think this beer is so special because coming across the feeds, actually somebody suggested that we reach out to these guys, and I did, but they had today, this morning, which is 12 o'clock noon, which for all intents and purposes is about an hour, maybe 45 minutes for me. They had a 2017 spring bottle release party, and guess what the beer was? You'll never guess.
Mermaid Ale.
Very, very good guess, but not quite.
Wiki Wasted.
No, okay, well,
that would be a great name for a beer.
We're gonna skip to
good one, right?
We're gonna
talk about the type of beer or name.
So I'm gonna just break it down like this. Today at noon, what they did is they roped up, right? and they'd done it clearly before today, but they had aged what's called a double IPA in a bourbon barrel that they had aged 48 feet underwater in the spring. So they kept a beer, a double IPA, 10.9% alcohol by volume, aged in bourbon barrels, sunk 48 foot into the spring, where it's a constant temperature of 68 degrees or whatever all year round, right? So they sunk this barrel there for over 30 days or whatever it took to brew this beer, but they left it in a bourbon barrel, and they were saying, hey, come on up to the brewery today at noon and you can buy up to 2 bottles per person for $20 each. So I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Like, love double IPAs. Second off, Florida history and heritage of Weeki Wachee Springs being aged in a bourbon barrel 50 feet underwater. That's amazing.
Wow. The spring release DPA or DIPA?
Yeah.
My gosh.
It's called spring released. It's a DIPA, a double IPA.
I just liked them on Facebook and started following just because of how crafty that is.
So I thought it was crafty too. So I wrote to them on here and I said, hey, listen, I will never be able to be there at noon, but can you hold a bottle or two? And they said, hey, we'll PM you. So sure enough, they did. We're going to have to,
I'll be there.
Yeah, we're going to have to go pick up these 2 bottles and try them out, because it doesn't get more craft, right? In terms of craft beer, it doesn't get more craft than aging something in a bourbon barrel 50 feet into a national or a natural spring. I think that's amazing.
I got to be a part of this.
Yeah,
I got to be a part of this. Yeah. When do you want to go?
I mean, I'm going Saturday morning, maybe Saturday afternoon. I'm not sure.
I just messaged them on the post they have here on Facebook, and I said, any left? So if they say yes and PM me, I'm going to have them put my bottle with yours, and then I'll just throw you $20 because I really want that beer.
Well, I told them that we were doing it for the podcast, so hopefully they're a big supporter. But again, I just want to say, shouts out to Marker 48, because not only were they very cool in offering to hold some for us, but it's just very cool. Like it was a very cool thing to do, and they're a very cool brewery for doing that. And of course, like we always say, we like to to support local craft breweries, and that's what this is. They are the epitome of, and they're doing some of these unique things. And we always talk about how a brewery fights for shelf space, and how this growing market of 5,300 breweries can possibly survive. Do cool shit like this. It's not rocket science, right?
Thank you.
It's really not that hard to do. Their website.
I was just thinking the same exact thing.
Yeah, their website is extremely basic. It doesn't have any bells, frills, or whistles to it. But doing cool, organic, natural things like this help you. Like, they will help your small brewery be something that's talked about.
It just goes to show you can have fun owning a business, especially a business such as craft beer, and that's what it is all about. That's the fun of brewing, the fun of being creative. I mean, they could have lost that entire barrel underwater for sure, but they didn't, thankfully. But I mean, just knowing that they did something like that, I think is extremely cool, and it just adds the fun back into it. It's like, yeah, we have a business, but we also want to have fun. Here's some more
awesome details. I didn't mean to cut you off, Wells. Let me just run through these.
It's released.
It's a limited bottle release, April 27th at noon, which is today. American Double Imperial IPA, or India Pale Ale. ABV is 10.9%, which we've talked about. Treatment: it was aged in 4 Roses bourbon barrels for about 3 weeks while submerged 48 feet deep in a freshwater spring. The availability: 750 milliliter bottles. About 400 are produced. $20 a bottle. Bottle limit of 2 bottles per person per day. And there's a video actually that goes along with it too. So check them out. But again, that's Marker 48 spring release. Very cool. Sounds very cool to me. So
definitely.
So that's what I'm going to be drinking. What I am drinking is this guy, our unofficial sponsor, Mr. Sierra Nevada. Have you guys had this yet?
Sidecar.
No.
I believe I did a while back, but not recently.
So as Ryan said, this is the Sierra Nevada Sidecar. Basically, it's a tangy orange additive to the classic style that did not naturally come to them. Their brewers argued over the perfect blend of bold hops, orange peel, and other ingredients to create the best flavor for this crisp and citrus bite pale ale. It's a very hop-forward beer that can stand alongside pale ale as a craft beer classic. First off, again, being a Florida native, this guy right here sells it, the orange. Anytime I see orange infused with beer, whatever it may be, I like to try it because, as we found in this very show, we've talked about things that are very citrusy, very hoppy, very sweet, very sour. So I always like to see kind of what the different pieces and ingredients make. Just like Ryan and his pineapple ale. I mean, this is pretty cool. It's pretty clear, and it smells more citrusy, less like piney than an IPA. But it smells stronger than it tastes. When you first sip this, you get a little shock of tart, but it finishes very clean and very smooth compared to an IPA where it's very piney and very stringent and kind of takes a lot of mouthfeel. But this does not. So I think this is a perfect beer for the beach. I think this is a great beer for any hot summer day that you don't feel like drinking a wheat beer that's overly cloudy or heavy or whatnot. It's a great alternative to wheat beers if you don't like them. And again, it's got a lot of citrus, a lot of orange, but it is by
Beautiful
no means
color too. I mean,
yeah,
I'm
by
seeing
no
that
means
color coming through.
Yeah, it's by no means overpowering. So it's really good, really good. So those are the two things that I brought. But I'm to be honest, I love our unofficial sponsor, Sierra Nevada, but I'm very excited about that spring release.
Our unofficial official.
Correct.
Officially unofficial sponsor.
Yeah, same diff.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm just now like, there's actually a video that goes along with the spring release one, and they're showing how far down they submerged. And there's literally these 2 beer barrels sitting underwater, 50 feet under.
In the spring?
In the spring. Oh, man.
Under the spring.
Donnie,
Yeah,
I gotta be there.
There's fish like nibbling bits off it. Like this is
what?
It's legit.
All right,
yeah,
getting involved.
Legit. I'm so excited.
I mean,
I hope
that the temperature of the spring perfect for barrel age, I'm sure.
Yeah, perfect.
Wow.
So we'll link all this below. I'm gonna put the actual link to the piece here that kind of talks about it and shows the video because it's pretty impressive. But I don't want to
next year. There's going to be like 50 barrels blocking the water flow.
Yeah, who knows? Apparently, it's on private property, but who knows? So we'll see.
Who knows? Awesome.
We have quite a few more things to talk about, so I want to keep moving because we are running slow as we always do. We're going to go through things pretty quickly here. Again, we'll post this link in the bottom, but there is I stumbled across a support network for craft beer. So when there's legislation or there's action that needs to be taken or something like that, there's actually a website that you can go to defend craft beer. And Sam C. from Dogfish Head is a strong advocate of this, but there is simply a form, which I will, again, link in the bottom below here. You fill it out, you give us your information, you tell, kind of where you're from and your zip code, and they will let you know when and how to take action. So it's a nice little community grassroots alert. It's something that's put out from the Brewers Association and their grassroots efforts. So highly suggest hopping on board with that. And again, it will be linked below because the link was pretty cumbersome. So just click below to find that out. One other story, the next story here that I want to talk to you guys about, since we are big fans, New Belgium. They're launching a Fat Tire Belgian White. Did anybody get a chance to take a look at this article just to see kind of what they were talking about?
Yeah, tell me more.
So perfect. Basically, this is going to be very different from the original Fat Tire, which, if you remember, is one of my wife's favorite beers to buy me, which I do appreciate and I'm always happy with. From one of our first episodes when I complained so much about Fat Tire, Ariel, she's right there. She's sitting right there.
Hi, Neffer.
Hi, Jenny.
Well, so hi. So does Ryan. Anyways, the white, so the Belgian white is going to have a mild sweetness, minimal bitterness, very refreshing, light body yeast. It's going to be, or light body, excuse me. It'll have American wheat ale, different hop varieties, some Cascade in there. It'll be pale white wheat, oats. It'll have grains of paradise, fresh ground Seville orange peel, coriander, and a hazy straw hue with a creamy head. It'll be about 5.2% ABV with 12 IBUs. Sounds exciting to me. It sounds like a very so the if you remember the Fat Tire, dark, heavy, almost like a not a Newcastle so much because it's more of an amber than a brown, but this should be pretty interesting. And I would love to see a Belgian white. It's just going to be another wheat beer to try out, but we love New Belgium, so why not, right?
Yeah. The IBUs are a little concerning.
12?
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore, man.
Hardcore low?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, whites, like, Blue Moon's got a 9, 9 IBUs, which is nothing. Shock Top, I can only imagine, has very low as well, 10. So that's not uncommon, which I didn't think it was. But then you look at something like your Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA has 60 IBUs.
Yep.
See, that's more my style.
Well, that's good because you didn't start out that way, certainly. But it is something that that is different from those white beers. So that's it. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts about that, but we love New Belgium, and I love their Fat Tire. So I'm excited to see a Fat Tire White. If you want to find out more information, visit them at newbelgium.com or on Twitter at New Belgium. We'll also throw them below and in the shout out. Moving on to our next beer story, and then we've got to really kind of start to rifle these things out. Amazon is delivering beer in Richmond, Virginia. So that's interesting. They again made some new relationships with suppliers like Dogfish Head and some of the other larger breweries up there in the New England states and whatnot. Richmond, Virginia is the first area that is actually delivering beer and wine to Prime members. 1 hour deliveries of hundreds of alcoholic beverages, including Bud Light, Stone Brewing, Devil's Backbone, and several other companies, are available from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. 1 hour delivery costs members $7.99, and 2 hour delivery is free. I would wait 2 hours. I'd be like, I'll call my beer in at 10 a.m. That's it.
Free for Prime. I feel like you need to mention that. Free for Prime.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, that's a fantastic idea.
But what's the markup on the beer? That's kind of what I want to know.
I do not know. I do not know that. I didn't see price on there.
If it's a normal, 6-pack for $10 for craft beer, then I mean, shit, yeah. But if it's $15 for the same thing, I can just kind of I guess you wouldn't take an Uber for it, but plan ahead accordingly to go.
It doesn't say, and I don't think you can even find it unless you're there.
In that state, yeah.
Yeah, like
anybody listening to this podcast from was it Virginia? Can you let us know what that cost? Richmond, Virginia. Can you let us know what that cost is?
Yeah, I would love to know because you're right, Ryan. Like it really does make a difference if they're overinflating cost. I just really would like to know because we have a fulfillment center in Ellington, which we are on the cusp of the 1 hour delivery system. Beer could be in our future if they can figure that out.
Can they fly it in with a drone into my cup
that's
holder?
What I was just thinking.
Did you guys not forget the 2 episodes ago when we talked about how much beer weighs and how a drone can't really carry that?
Yeah, but
I don't know. I saw a video of a guy in a hammock on a big drone, and the drone was flying him in the hammock. Did you guys not see that?
No, but
I want to see that.
I want to see that. I'd rather see.
I will try to find it and share it onto my Facebook page later tonight because it was absolutely phenomenal.
I found it.
No more. I'm gonna watch it now.
I found it? Yeah, I found it already.
It's incredible. The guy's just like sleeping in a hammock as he flies. Well, not sleeping, but he's flying his drone in a hammock. It's fucking
pretty
awesome.
Incredible. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Anyways,
I mean that.
Wow.
Segue.
I thought that's not a segue. That's a tangent. That's a distraction. All right, we got to keep moving.
It's what the people love.
No, I don't think so. So the Stone Hotel has been put on hold yet again. If you remember, Stone was the second behind Brewdog. The second hotel that we spoke. Stop watching that right now. We see you, Wells. I see you.
You watching
you won't read the show
video?
notes. You won't read the show notes. You watch a dude in a kayak. I mean, in a hammock, fly in a drone.
I read all the show notes. Chill out, bro.
Back to the story.
By read, he means skimmed.
All right. We're back to this show here, and essentially the Stone Hotel has been put on hold. If you recall, it's a $226 million licensing agreement that they had agreed to, a 99-room hotel. Basically, again, taps in every room, filled with beer, yada, yada, yada. Essentially, the brewery that was supposed to found this hotel in Escondido has delayed all production of said brewery hotel. So we will keep watching this, but the hotel was projected to be built by early 2018. That is less than a year from now. So odds are not happening. At least not in that timeline. Just want to keep everybody updated because we did cover kind of both stories that we saw that came out with the beer hotels. So I'm excited to see them. I just want them to be here.
I mean, I'm not saying no. I'm still not sold.
Not sold.
Because unless you're doing a cross-country travel and you make that one of your stops for the night, that would be maybe the most ideal way to experience that brewery. Just throwing it out there.
Yep. Yep. No, I'm with it.
I feel like we should call this the, let's see. This one's going to herald back to some earlier knowledge in my life, but the Abrito in Escondido. It's the, Abrito is the referee or the umpire. The
So why
Abrito
was that-
in, okay, well, the whole thing's ruined.
But why
now,
is it
so-
appropriate?
Because like they're putting a stop to it. So referees typically do that. Oh boy, real tough sell tonight.
I want a refund.
How
I
about
thought-
a refund?
You get a refund on nothing, and you will love it. You will be thrilled.
Can we heckle
Yeah,
you
you will
yet?
be thrilled. Absolutely not. The Abrito in Escondido is a
Doesn't make-
pretty solid term.
Doesn't make any sense.
All right, well then, fuck it all. It's cool.
All right. We're moving on. So we only have a
Great.
few more. We have a few more stories to get through. Lost. I put one of these on here just for you, my friend. However, it is not this one. Essentially, what we're doing is moving on to the geek news section of the show, where we talk about a little bit of stuff. Typically, it's Star Wars movie related, but guess what? We know overkill with the Star Wars. We got it. We're not doing Star Wars today because you're probably sick of hearing it. So don't worry about it. It's fine. The first story we want to talk about for our geek news here is a little company called Waymo. Have you guys heard of Waymo?
Yes, in the show notes.
Waymo, party on.
So Waymo
Excellent.
is an alphabet company, which essentially means the spin-off of Google. So they are making autonomous cars, and not electric cars, not car shuttling service so much. But essentially they started about 12 years ago, and are filing a suit against Uber to discuss kind of the origin of its automated cars, because Uber apparently had stolen some technology from them. Back it up a bit. Talking about why this company is so hot on Uber's tail is because they are doing self-driving cars to initiate a network of cars and taxis almost, which can replace Uber and its whole business. So very cool. I think it's very awesome. I am very much on the forefront of getting driverless cars on the road, because I think that will help. I think that Uber can also do the same thing, but if they're stealing technology to benefit for themselves, then not a big proponent. So I want to bring this article up here just because it's so timely, and Tampa is so massively involved with this. If you have not noticed, Tampa, the city of Tampa, actually adopted a fleet of over 500 cars that will autonomously take you from A to Z in different locations around town as part of the county transportation system, which is a huge step forward. And we can thank Mayor Bobby B for that. But it's very timely because this article is interesting, fighting Uber and tackling autonomous vehicles. But yet right here at home, we're doing the same thing in our own city. So I wanted to pose that to you guys just to talk about it, to get your thoughts on it, and then we can move along.
I am thrilled that Tampa will soon have Johnny Cabs. That's pretty much what I heard from all the things you said, all
Yep.
those words.
Minority Report was referenced quite a bit in that article.
Minority Report?
I mean,
Total Recall is what you're
Total Recall.
trying to say. They really screwed with your brain over at Recall.
yeah, they did.
References inside references. Deal with that. But yeah, no, that's fantastic. I would love Johnny Cabs to be everywhere. Because driverless cars, I mean, that'd be fantastic. It takes the awkwardness out of an Uber. I mean, just speaking as Uber as like an adjective, that's fantastic.
Last time I was in Uber, I was actually going to Star Wars Celebration, and for breakfast, I got like some apples and some cheese, and the Uber lady was like, "Can I get some of that cheese?" And I was like, sure. But
Ooh.
a Johnny Cab would replace that Uber driver, and she would not have asked for any of my cheese. So,
Well, it'd be super awkward if a mechanical man asked for some of your cheese.
I totally agree.
But I mean, I do have to reference and, ad lib right here. If you want to cut this, anytime somebody talks bad about Uber, I go, I've not had amazing experiences, but one time my brother was extremely intoxicated and he managed to find his way home by shouting at Siri, Uber home.
I tell that story all the time. I'm like, Siri can call you an Uber, and people are like, no way. I was like, do it right now, do it. And sure enough, they pull out their phones and they just go, Ryan, I want to hear what your thoughts are about this, but first, me and Lost are on a wild tangent that we have to ride out to the sunset here.
Quite all right. I'm going to find my next beer.
What was that again?
Whoop. Siri, Uber. She did it. She opened Uber.
That's the best.
Okay, so all that downtime, but the point of the story was that I have so many apps on my phone. If you try to find Uber right now, the problem is that I was seeing so sideways that I couldn't even find out where my own apps were. So I was just hoping that Siri would be able to find it, and she did. So now I've learned that you can actually say, Siri, call me an Uber, and she'll say, where would you like to be picked up? And I'll say, right here.
That is honestly my favorite thing about technology for the past about 15 years.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Is there a drunk
just
person
appreciate
assist
that.
button on your phone? Like that would be
It's basically called your voice with Siri.
where like all the apps are blurry intentionally so that it will make them look straight on your phone.
So that you just
It's
use
called
ones you
vodka.
want. Did you have anything to say about the Waymo piece, the self-driving, autonomous cars, fight against Uber, any of that stuff? Just because you kind of blanked out as we were talking about it.
I will continue to use Uber because I feel they are the most affordable.
Oh, love it. I'm not saying that
So-
Uber is not the most affordable. I'm saying if we could find a way to eliminate drivers, guess what? Waymo just became a lot more affordable.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
But then you got to pay for that technology.
sure, but that would be, I don't know, over time per volume of paying somebody consistently or having that autonomous. I mean, Uber is going that route too. So it's not like autonomous cab drivers are not coming. Johnny Cabs so nicely dubbed it.
No, I know. And I think Waymo had that beef with them for some technology piece that they have in their cars and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Okay.
we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's
It'd
how
be
I kind of
nice.
feel about it.
It'd be nice if that version does not self-destruct when you ask it to drive you to a concrete village for some reason.
So many callbacks, Lossman.
Yep, there's
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of
You know
that.
what though? There's nothing that beats having a real live person in the car. Loss, if I'm not mistaken, you were on the party Uber from the movie theater, were you not? Well, the Uber from the mall movie theater to my house was our party bus. I mean, it was fantastic. The guy had glow lights inside. He had it thumping in there. We were all like, yeah, I got a little, video camera of all of us jamming out. You can't do that with nobody driving.
Yeah, but also there's one time I went to a taco joint with like an angry Armenian guy, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Are you done yet? Are you out of my car yet?" And I'm like, "Dude, clearly I'm not. Like, we haven't arrived." Like,
You're
was
not
a horrible
supposed to.
experience.
Was he
Well,
waiting for you or?
No, he was driving, and he was like, "Are you done?" And I'm like, "We haven't arrived yet. How am I done?"
So I have 2 points to this. As you dropped out, Ryan, and we we're hopping back in, me and Lost talked about it. Not a negative story, but that the fact that one of my Uber drivers took some of my breakfast because she was hungry, and that's fine. I
What?
get that. Yeah, just rewind it. You have to listen to it. But the second point is that you can get a really good Uber driver. You can get a really bad Uber driver. But if you had no driver, you would have a consistent experience every single time.
So who's gonna be in the car to clean up the puke when somebody they pick up drunk is just spewing in the backseat, and then the next time you get into that Uber, there's nobody there to like say no, I can't pick up any more people.
These aren't just Mad Max style robots that just peruse the land forever and never touch down or call home to anywhere.
But does the car know when somebody's gotten sick in it? Like, did they take it
Probably.
off the road?
There's
Or
probably cameras.
have we
set
thought
up.
about this?
No, there's probably cameras set up that would videotape everything that goes inside and feed it to a security guard who's watching 8 screens at one time compared to one driver per one car. So one man could maintain 8 cars, 12 cars, 15 cars at a time. It's a lot more efficient to do it that way than it would
So
be to
let
have
me-
a driver.
Let
But I
me
guarantee
bring
they all
up
have
the
homes,
next.
They all have garages. They all have to go back and get cleaned out again. They don't just take off from Miami and land in Las Vegas.
You
weeks
never
later.
know. But so
Oh,
does
you
that
do
mean
know.
anything goes in this Uber cab? Like,
No, absolutely not. It operates the same exact way as an Uber does. It's not.
but
fucking
does it
rocket.
just shut down if you start getting the Hummer and the,
No,
I'm just
no.
saying.
I'm
You
gonna
probably
take
get docked like a $50 chart.
right.
And all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're screwed because you couldn't wait until you got to your stupid sleazy hotel.
Yeah. They'll
I
probably-
mean, I'm
they'll
just
ding you-
saying.
they'll ding you on the dongers every time. I guarantee.
Ding you on the dollars.
Okay.
This
Oh,
is why
that's
my
sweet.
internet Wi-Fi should not have crapped out on me. This would have already been discussed. I'm just saying.
It's
Well-
getting done now.
It is getting disgusting. All right, we got one last article to talk about, Lawson. This is the coup de grace that I brought for you, man. Guess what is coming to your local Doritos bag?
What?
The Guardians of the Galaxy 2 soundtrack with a built-in cassette deck and headphone jack. Rechargeable. The bag will be rechargeable.
Wow.
I saw that.
So
That looks
you-
fantastic. However,
So you can care.
What?
However, I know there's always a tidbit with you, but you can not only recharge your Doritos once, but you can play them yet again. You can play them many times to listen to the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 soundtrack. Before you get into your tangent, what I do like about this story is that, yes, they're going to be sold on Amazon and there is going to be some sort of cost associated with it. But the beauty of this and James Gunn in general that he did with the first franchise for no goddamn reason at all, he released the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 soundtrack for free. 2 weeks before the movie came out, he's like, hey, if you want it, just download it. It's yours. It's completely free. And that is very cool. The fact they're putting them on Doritos bags, I think is a little bit random, but it's very cool. And odds are, if you don't want to spend the money for the Doritos bag, it will still be free, which I hope is true. And I anticipate because I do have so much appreciation for getting those great songs, you know, when the first one came out. So go ahead, Laos, man. Give me your tidbits.
I mean, wow. Where do I begin with something like free soundtracks with Doritos bags? First off, I'd probably have I'd be rolling in these MP3s at this point. Yeah, if that was true to form for all Doritos bags, but no, that's fantastic. I kind of want to know how they're going to emulate something like this onto a Doritos bag. Clearly isn't going to be like a cassette tape, duct tape to a Doritos bag.
No,
I
it
mean,
just looks like that. It's not going to be a cassette tape. But
So the Doritos bag is going to play something. Like, is it going to be a tiny MP3 player? Is it going to be like
what I imagine it's going to be is like a flash drive. You literally it's a Doritos bag with a headphone jack on it, and you just go bloop, and then
you all of a sudden get nacho cheesier? Is that where you're going with this? Or are you trying to play this cooler ranch style?
I think a Pringles tube
those are all
would have
hitting,
been the more
I'm just
solid
saying.
option. Just saying.
Well, true, and it's less disposable. I guess those tubes are a little harder, but I think it's cool, man. Whatever. How fun is that?
I mean,
what a cool
it's-
promo.
It is fun. I mean, it's not as fun as barrel aging beer under 50 yards of water, or 50
I'm
feet
going to
of water.
disagree with you there.
But I mean, hey, if it helps people think twice about throwing their Doritos bags on the ground because I see them everywhere, then I mean that's one positive. I don't know how many people are going to be saving their Doritos bags to recharge them in their car.
Right. That's what I thought they're like. There will also be. That's what it says. It'll say it quote unquote according to Billboard. It'll be recharged for repeat listening. I'm like, who the fuck is keeping a Doritos bag, regardless of what it can do?
I think what would be even more epic is if you go to open up your bag of Doritos or even your bag of chips and it just starts playing and you're like, fuck yeah. And then you eat all your chips and then it stops. Or that too. I think that would be
top
okay. I mean, that would just make life so much more entertaining.
That would be cool. That'd be very cool.
This is all fantastic.
2017, folks. It's only going to get better from here.
This is officially labeled as the future episode. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Los.
No, I'm super excited about this. This is a fantastic idea, and I love it. I really hope it's not just a freeze-dried cassette tape in a bag of Doritos, because I don't think it will be.
The next is beer. So when you pop the top, a fucking song plays. Like, I don't know, just pick a song.
I mean, honestly though, think about it. Why wouldn't they just put a cassette tape? I mean, it's already like 70s themed. It's already like Doritos themed. Like, why wouldn't they just put
wait, I got an idea.
And they go, yeah, it's rechargeable. Just rewind, motherfucker.
I have an idea. It's the perfect idea. So for for like a summer themed beer, make it like a really happy surfing song. And then if it's like a bottle of wine, it's like, yeah, you're cracking this open because you're sad and miserable and you're drinking your whole bottle of wine. So make it like a sad song. That'd be kind of cool.
Or Barry White.
There you go. Oh, that's, yeah. There could be like a song for every season, if you will. That would be kind of cool.
I'd be pretty upset.
We could really evolve this idea.
If the
I love it.
MASH theme song ever played while I was opening a beer, I'd be very upset.
This whole thing is time-stamped, right? Like,
Yeah, well,
this is officially time-stamped.
that we're stealing canon from Doritos. Yeah, sure. That's all.
No, we're not. No, we're evolving. That's evolution, my friend.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. It'd be better if you poured when you poured, it was like
Oh, that would be
sensors.
awesome.
Tilt sensors.
which you could do you could do it with like a little spinny wheel, when there is I don't know. Let's not give away all secrets tonight. We got plenty.
Yes, we're gonna come up with some more ideas on this one.
Speaking of not giving up everything tonight, it's time to end this podcast. Segway King.
That's fair.
Mr. Lausman, where can they find you?
I can be found at Mr. Lausman. That's it.
Okay. And Raga, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at BrewedBoy813, and let me know what you want me to brew. Send me some ideas.
I've sent you my idea, and we're still gonna do it sometime very soon.
That's right.
Can you brew one of the many thousands of pictures you have on your fridge into a beer?
I don't know how good that'll taste, but sure.
I mean, dude, inks?
I do have a really good IPA brewing, I think, for you to try, Laos. So
I'm swinging by tomorrow. And I'm gonna grab one of those pineapple.
please, I've got 2 left, so come get it whilst they're available. But yes, I have
It's good.
a very good hoppy beer brewing.
And you're dwelling on that recipe for us to emulate your small batch pineapple to make a big batch pineapple, correct?
It's gonna happen.
Awesome. All right,
That's gonna be my staple pineapple right there.
I'm so in on that because I think that's a fantastic beer.
Ooh.
So you
Quick.
can yes,
Steinapple.
got it. Steinapple.
Steinapple. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great, right?
It's
Very
funny
great.
because I was thinking the same thing. I just didn't say it.
Well, you got to interrupt Donnie. That's a trick.
That's the truth, but it's technically still Ryan's idea. So you can
Also, he gets pretty pissed about it too.
So you can find me at Brewmasters Club. You can hashtag Brewmasters Club, or if you want to submit some ideas to the show, hashtag Brewmasters Club Cast. You can find us online at www.brewmasters.club. Also, again, don't forget Temple Terrace Craft Brew Fest.com. Come on out, support local economy, support a local charity, support local breweries, and have some fun, drink some beer. It's very cheap for a beer fest, and there's going to be, like I said, 70 to 80 brewers there, so it should be a great time. If you want to learn more about that and be on our mailing list for future opportunities, contests, ticket giveaways, please visit us at join.brewmasters.club. It's that simple. Join the mailing list, and you will get those emails directly to your inbox. It's the simplest way to do it. Sometimes they're free. Sometimes it's a contest. Sometimes it's a giveaway. Either way, you'll stay in touch. So we appreciate you guys listening. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful morning, evening. We do. It's a callback.
Nope.
That's a callback.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
I
it's a
forgot.
callback.
I got
Callback.
urgent news.
Okay.
Urgent news.
Go ahead.
Sorry about this.
Forgot about
I
urgent
forgot.
news? How does that work?
Crooked Thumb has an event going on for Remember the 4th, May the 4th. And you don't have to show up in a Star Wars costume, but it is Star Wars themed. So I know we didn't talk about Star Wars, but I just want to drop that little nugget of information out there for all the people that are close to Crooked Thumb and Safety Harbor. There you go.
That is good because May 4th will probably be the next time we're on air. So
That's
by
right.
then, it may have passed. So good. Yeah, anything like that too. If you're a local brewer and you want us to throw you a shout out or give you some information or put your information out there, we're always happy to do so. Please, at Brewmasters Club on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, or just simply hashtag Brewmasters Club Cast to get a hold of us here at the show. Once again, it's been a great time. Thank you guys for being here tonight. We appreciate all the listeners out there. We love you guys, and we will see you next time, eh? Mr. Lawson?
Cheers.
Bit of cows.
And bed of cows. Thank you guys.
Bit of gas? Is that what you said?
It's not. That's not what I said.
Bit of gas.
No, what you're doing
Bit
is
of
wrong.
gas? What is he
Bit
saying?
of
What I
gas.
said was right. What you're doing is wrong.
Bit of gas is wrong. It's not bit of gas.
I
Bit
know
of
he said bit
gas.
of course, but it sounded like bit of gas.
I did not say bit, of course. Why would I say that?
Bit of gas.
Yeah, I think he's full of gas. It's
Flip your
all full of hot air. Turn your
Very
phone down
airy.
again. No,
It's very
Nope.
airy.
no, we're all right. We're done.
You've been listening to the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club, Craft Brews and Geek News. Grab a beer with the guys and be sure to subscribe to catch additional content. Add this podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. Chat with the guys on Twitter at Brewmasters Club and Facebook and online at www.brewmasters.club. Cheers!